Spoilers ahead, fucknuts.
Here come the bros, you know they're always blazing, talking movies, TV, and all the things amazing, from superheroes to sci-fi and comedy galore. Read me with all the content, they never get bored. It's the two bros in a pod show, they're taking us to town. Oh, covering all the flicks that make us jump and go out. Superhero movies, action and some comedy. Their podcast is the place to be. They're two big buddies, never missing a beat. Their witty banter, they make us all complete. From old classics to the newest releases, their honest reviews give us all the pieces.
Welcome.
Hello, Pose.
And welcome.
Welcome.
Riders of Rohan.
Riders. Assemble.
We are all under the banner of fucking Hammercock the King himself. Chad among Chads.
Helm Hammercock.
Helm Hammercock.
Yes. We're here with a new Spoiled It, where we give you a review of a movie, but with spoilers. We don't give a fuck.
Imagine the shocker. Imagine. Spoiled it with spoilers.
Imagine people gave reviews and just gave spoilers and all, so they didn't have to pussyfoot around any of the plot intricacies and everything.
Imagine that.
That's what we're going to do today, folks, as we always do. So, we saw Lord of the Rings, The War of the... How do you pronounce that?
Rohan?
Rohirrim?
Rohan.
That's not how you pronounce it.
Rohan.
No, that right there. Isn't it Rohirrim?
Rohan.
Rohirrim? Yeah, it's something like that. I don't know. I'm sorry, Lord of the Rings fans.
Ouch.
I'm butchering it.
Rohan.
I'm an amateur into this world.
Well, it's a new story compared to actual thing. It's not a real story in the collection, basically, just with certain characters. You know what? We'll get into that later.
Well, yeah. Because you said this was kind of a retelling even of a pre-existing
It's basically
story.
an entire different story, just with certain characters they decided to throw in there than the original story of like this whole thing.
But yeah, so
Wolf's not even a wolf.
This was a Warner Brothers animated movie. It's kind of got like an anime sort of style to it, right?
Well, it is an anime, yeah.
Yeah. And I think off the bat, people are gonna wonder, is the animation good for this?
Mm-hmm.
And I liked it at points. Like, I think I liked the character designs. But I think the backgrounds and how they kind of mixed like real life photography and stuff for the background. And
they're not like they're just drawn super hyper realistic.
Or
that's
else. What it is.
It's not like actual pictures. They're just drawn super detailed, hyper realistic compared to the characters that look more anime-esque. That actually do look more anime-esque.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I thought that worked at some points, like with mountains and some other kind of areas, like it worked, but there were some, I think it was mainly during some of the action scenes where it was just like the environment was so barren, like that it just really didn't work for me. And then you could just tell how cheap the animation was in some of those scenes too, when you're watching it on like an IMAX screen like we were, and you're like, ooh, like this is, the best quality and everything, but like this is not looking the best at some scenes. And so I just think it was inconsistent ultimately, because it was really good in some scenes. And then even it was kind of like Invincible a little bit too, where like, how good the animation is for that show. But I feel like there's some scenes where you can tell the animation is a lot more cheap and they're kind of cutting corners.
Oh, you mean like that episode of Invincible where they actually explain
that?
Where
they address that too.
They fucking meta fucking narrate that shit.
But they do that at points, and I've noticed that stuff, and it doesn't bother me too much, and it didn't really with this either. But like, I guess it's a little different for me because I've never seen a theatrical movie where they're cutting corners like this. I feel like that's usually where they go, you know, okay, we got to spend, it's the Simpsons movie or it's the Jimmy Neutron movie or Rugrats. We got to spend more money on the animation for the movie. It's going to look better than your average episode you would see of the show, you know? So to me, I thought it was kind of TV quality, unfortunately. And that's not necessarily a bad thing. Like I said, it was good at points. I just thought it was inconsistent. I think it was like, and I might even be wrong, but I think this might have been something envisioned for Max originally. And then kind of like they've done with a lot of these things recently when they're making them for a streaming service. I think they went, oh, we should actually release this theatrically. Huh, like what an original idea. And so they decided to, I think, release this theatrically. And I don't know if that was also because Peter Jackson was a producer on it too. I don't know if he hopped in.
I don't know.
Like as it was in development or if he was in from the get-go, but did you feel his involvement was here a lot? Because I felt like it wasn't really similar to those Peter Jackson movies.
I don't know. I didn't feel too much of it, at least. Maybe some parts, but I couldn't. It was kind of hard to tell. It didn't feel like the usual type of Lord of the Rings type of stuff to me. Still had its like I said, it was a fun enough movie. It was just it didn't feel like the other ones to me.
Yeah, but that's such a high bar, right?
Yeah, it might have been better. I honestly, this probably could have been better. It might be one of those movies. It might have been better if they just didn't. If it was live action rather than the anime. Like,
that's what I was kind of thinking.
Like, I don't know. I mean, like I usually like the anime style at times, but
they easily could have made this live action.
Probably, yeah.
Because, like, you would think with something like this, like, especially when they do anime a lot of times, it's like, oh, because they're going to do so much more crazy stuff. This was more tame than the live-action Lord of the Rings movies.
Yeah, there was nothing actually too crazy happening in this. What the biggest fucking thing was the giant tower bridge that they did at the very end.
And that's not necessarily a bad thing. Sometimes I think it's okay to have a more scaled-down story. Not everything can be, like, AAA stakes and everything, but
maybe it was to watch the lake. that's where they need to actually show.
But one thing I think I did really like about this was like the characters, though. Like I think I did like the characters and everything, and like maybe it was just the writing and stuff too.
Yeah.
Like where I don't know, maybe it was because like we saw Craven right before it, and that had terrible writing. But like I was like, man, like this is a pretty simple story for this Lord of the Rings, and you know,
it was a simple story.
Yeah, but sometimes that's not a bad thing, and I don't think it was a bad thing in this case. Like I said, it was a more scaled down story than the other Lord of the Rings movies. But I think like there's still stuff to appreciate there if you're a fan, and then people can appreciate it if they want just like a more scaled down story and stuff too.
Yeah.
Because I still think, you know, obviously the Peter Jackson ones are a lot better, but this was much shorter, and like I said, I think it would be easier for maybe like someone who is first wanting to come into this world to kind of hop into. Because those like Lord of the Rings movies are great, but they're very intimidating too, where they're like 4 hours and shit too. Like you really have to be locked in for those, you know.
Agree to disagree, but all right, continue.
No, like if you're someone new and you're like they're already unsure.
I mean, they got the theatrical or the shorter versions too. If you wanted to just get into those ones,
those are still like 3 hours.
3 hours,
right? Yeah.
It's like 2.5 to 3 hours if I remember right.
So the fact that this was like just slightly over 2 hours, I think, you know, it's a good enough thing for people to jump into and kind of like enter this world. Especially, I guess, at least if they like are a big fan of animation too, you know.
Yeah, I guess.
So, but yeah, I liked it. I think the pacing was pretty decent for it. I didn't really felt like it dragged too much. Like I said, I really like the characters. I think the villain, I was surprised I ended up like liking him because
you liked the villain.
I mean, he was just like, I thought he was a good villain. I didn't like him, but like I just was like, he kind of was one note with like just wanting to basically like fuck over that family the entire time.
Yeah.
But like I was just like, I don't know. I was just like, by the end, I was just like, man, like I guess I can kind of respect that this isn't like someone that wants world domination or anything like that. Like this is just, this guy just fucking basically got rejected and is just like, no, I'm gonna fucking kill your entire family now and everything.
I think some people would call that an incel. He was a fucking incel.
Lord of the Rings incel.
He kind of, he absolutely, I was saying that the whole time to snobs during the movie. I'm like, this dude's a fucking incel with the shit he does.
No,
he
but
got
like,
rejected by the fucking girl he liked and stuff. I guess it could, you could also say because his dad got one tapped like a fucking bitch by fucking Helm Hammercock.
Yeah, Helm was badass.
He one shot at him with his fucking giant dick and he just went down like a bitch and died.
Take that, bitch.
Dude, that and then he's like, oh fuck, I'm gonna fucking kill your whole family for this. Oh.
Oh, your daughter rejected me and you killed my dad on the same day.
Boo! I'm gonna get the fucking mountain then and hire some mercenaries and fuck you up. Oh god.
That's what I'm saying. Like that stuff worked for me. Like I don't know. I was just invested in it. It was like very simple and like. At first, I wasn't sure if I was gonna like really like the characters or like where it was gonna go and stuff, but it wasn't even super crazy. Like I said, the plot and everything, but I respected that it was kind of a scaled down story because I feel like I said, it's not as good as the Peter Jackson ones, but I can respect that it's a little more scaled down because like I still feel like I need to like I saw those in theaters finally and I love them. But I'm like, I still feel like I need to see these again because there's like so much here that like, I feel like I'm still like missing bits, you know, like just all the dialogue and like, there's so many like moving chess pieces and shit like that in terms of the plot and everything, especially when you see all three, the director's cuts 3 days in a row.
Yeah.
So like. Yeah, it was just a lot to take in and stuff, even though I was like, damn, I'm loving this and this is badass and shit. Like, I still feel like I just need to rewatch them, though. I don't feel like I need to really rewatch this. I might, but I don't feel like I need to. It's not like one of those ones where I'm like, I feel like I need to rewatch that a second time to, like, fully understand or, like, fully appreciate that even more.
Yeah, I get you.
I
mean, to me, I'm probably wouldn't really fucking rewatch them. Like mainly because
you would watch the Helm fucking badass scene compilation.
Like I said, the fucking for me the things I did like the most in the movie. The king was a fucking mega chad.
Yeah, it was awesome.
He was just fighting off like an army with just his bare hands most of the fucking.
Like what happened with him too? Like they thought he was a ghost at one point.
A wraith, he turned into a wraith.
He was just that badass that he just was like. Being a ghost, basically.
He like disappeared, and then like fucking soldiers start disappearing. The enemy soldiers because he snuck out.
Did you see his eyes though in that part?
Me and Snobs literally said that. We thought he became like the. If you've played the Lord of the Rings video game, the one where like he plays the ranger who has the ghost.
Shadow of Mordor.
Yes.
Yeah, that's one of the only other
that's
things I've played too. Because I've only seen the Lord of the Rings movies, the first Hobbit movie, and then played the first Shadow of Mordor.
Yeah, like it was. We thought he basically for a second. I'm like, did they make him turn into like the Shadow Mordor, that guy where he has a ghost too? He's like part ghost or something in him. He's just fucking up the rest of the army just through that. But nah, he was like, oh, psych out. Sorry, babe. Sorry, assholes. Yeah, I'm just still alive. I just wanted to sneak out and beat the shit out of fucking people and kill them, and scare the shit out of the enemy. Which. I mean, it did its job. It was working, I would say. Like, fucking all the mercenaries and fucking the hill people that were working with with Wolf and shit like that, they were all fucking freaking out. They're like, oh fuck! The Ray's gonna kill me! He's gonna fucking kill me, man! Holy fuck!
But yeah, one, like, I wonder if because you know we saw this in RPX because we go to a Regal theater. I wonder if like because I've always said to you like I think the visuals aren't like 4K at our theater yet and everything. So I wonder if this like if like maybe like that's why I don't want to be too harsh on the animation either because like I said I did really like it at points too. But maybe it would look better in like IMAX because they are showing it in IMAX.
I mean, maybe.
And it's 4K and everything.
Personally, I was more just focused on the story rather than the visuals.
Yeah.
They weren't the worst, so I kind of just focused on the actual movie most of it.
Oh, the same. That's what I basically eventually ended up doing because they were so.
I will say it doesn't feel sometimes like a Lord of the Rings movie.
Because
even though I did love the fucking goddamn Chad King. The fucking things like him leaping fucking huge feats, him being literally just bare knuckling every fucking person. That doesn't feel like Lord of the Rings type of thing.
True. Like you think it's like an anime or something, basically.
Yeah, it does feel more anime-esque, I guess too. But it also made him fucking. It's just one of those exaggeration things that you see in a lot of movies at times.
Yo.
Where they make someone to fucking seem like almost invincible. Granted, they still kind of made him feel fucking invincible because the only thing that killed the king wasn't the soldier. The thing that killed him was goddamn weather because he fucking was fighting out in a blizzard for.
He's just so oink.
I mean, like I loved his character, but it didn't
Yeah.
feel like a Lord of the Rings type of thing. That because Lord of the Rings does, even though it's like a fucking fantasy,
there's a very specific like feeling to them.
Yeah, it like the humans feel like for most part humans, like they're actually.
I feel like
more immortal. The king just felt like a fucking superhuman.
Yeah.
Fucking leaping from ground height. He was just fucking bashing the fuck out of fucking everyone, including orcs, humans, the fucking. I don't know what the fuck that was supposed to be. The cave
I think the king was the reason it was animated, bro. Like, so the king could do all that badass shit. Because that's the one thing with the movie where it's like, okay, you probably couldn't do that in live action without it looking ridiculous. But
probably, yeah.
in animation, it did look cool. You know what I'm saying? So, but the other creatures and stuff, like I said, we've seen those in the Peter Jackson one. So you're right. Where, like, that stuff totally could have been done live action. But, yeah, it's the only thing I can think of is, like, some of the action stuff in here. Like, pretty much particularly with the king, Helm. So, yeah. So I think the animation's inconsistent.
Yeah.
Writing, I think, is pretty decent. I think people are going to be split on that, though, because of, like, how we said it's pretty basic.
Yeah. Like I said, it also changed the story basically completely to what it was in the actual Tolkien book. Wolf's not even a real wolf, guys. Come on. He's not even a wolf man like he was supposed to. He's supposed to be a wolfie.
He's supposed to be a wolf man?
Yeah. Yeah, who takes the princess and then basically a Prince Charming story of him killing Wolf. Anyway, but yeah, so if you're looking for the original type of storytelling of it, you're probably not going to get it. But if you want like a good, I guess a fine enough action anime thing, I guess you'd enjoy it, have a fun time with it.
Yeah. This is rated PG-13 too, right?
Yes. I did love the fun.
Yeah, it was.
I never realized the mines of Moria were so close to Rohan.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess they could say they were further away than what it seemed like, but I don't know. It was just kind of
movies always do this sort of shit.
Yeah,
where it's like Madame Web when they just were like, "Oh, let's go to this other country and
let's go to this fucking place in an instant."
Day.
Yeah.
What?
But at least we got the Watcher of the Lake look cool, and we got to see it literally deep throw a fucking elephant. It's just a war fucking elephant. Oh! Just swallows that fucker whole. I'm like, I mean, that's cool.
God damn.
I mean, god damn. That looked cool. That looked dope fun. Like a dope fun. Just him eating an entire a mercenary's war elephant that we've seen before. Just at whole. But yeah. So that was cool.
What'd you think about the like little name drops and cameos in here?
Oh, you mean like the orcs looking for rings, like as a cameo type thing that kind of just pops up for a little while, but
was that the one?
Didn't have a really significant what?
Did they find the one ring, or was they just have rings?
No, they were just collecting rings.
Okay.
Because they were saying, don't know why they have us collecting rings, and they're just going around collecting
That's
his
what I thought.
rings.
I didn't think they
thinking
had it.
someone might have one.
Yo. But one kind of looked like one, so I wasn't sure.
I mean, if that was supposed to be it, that'd be kind of weird just to have it, because, probably doesn't. It's not supposed to be. I'm pretty sure that's like. Remember in the
if that was it,
the actual.
if that was it, that's totally Warner Brothers going. Oh, you gotta put the fuck.
That'd be fucking really stupid. Like holy shit. Because remember the ring after the guy after I forget his name who forgets to throw it into the fucking volcano. And he takes it himself, and then he gets ambushed on the road and dies, and the ring goes into the river, and the river stays in the river until fucking Smeagol fucking finds it,
Bro.
Fucking he like takes it away and becomes Gollum and all that shit. So
Nope.
I mean that'd be fucking dumb, but I don't know.
We changed it.
Yeah.
No, I don't think it was.
I don't think so either. That's what I'm saying. I don't.
But
think
no, I
that's
meant
what
Saruman.
Yeah, him taking over, them saying, "Oh, he now owns Isengard." After.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
then the Gandalf name drop and everything, and her going to Gandalf and everything at the end.
Yeah.
What do you think of that stuff?
Like I said, changed up story, but I guess okay.
So is that setting up a potential sequel? You think?
No, I don't think so. I think that's more of just them explaining, because they said they got to go tell Gandalf about this ring thing, that because they were so concerned about orcs collecting rings.
Oh, so
And
she's like
she's
like the person that warned him first.
Yeah,
about
they're
it,
basically implying that she's the one that brought the message to Gandalf that the orcs are collecting rings. That's what they're trying to just set up for. As for Saruman, it's basically why it's just explaining how he got his tower.
Dude, that's deep.
Deep, like Helm's Deep.
Yeah. Helm's Deep, bro.
Helm's Deep. But yeah, so that's the only thing that I saw them they're setting up for that.
Okay.
Speaking of that, I would love to see them do a series about the two blue wizards that are supposed to be on the other side of the earth that no one ever talks about.
The next thing we're getting, right?
What?
The Hunt for Gollum or whatever. It's Andy Serkis is going to be directing it.
Yeah, I forgot about that. How do you think that's going to be?
I don't know. I mean, I think if they had done one movie, it still kind of would have been dumb, but maybe. But now it sounds like they're trying to make it 2 or 3, and I'm like, oh my god, this is fucking ridiculous, guys.
It's just kind of
not everything needs to be a trilogy, because I heard that's the same thing they did with those Hobbit movies, and they originally said it was going to be 1, and then it became 2, and then it became 3.
Yeah, because they changed a lot of stuff in the actual stuff and Hobbit things, and they just added things to make it a trilogy.
And I heard no one liked the 3rd one.
I mean, it's entertaining, but
they didn't hate it, but it's the weakest of the.
It's basically the idea of what you're saying of they could have shortened this into fucking 1, maybe 2 movies at most, but
exactly
did not need to throw in.
I mean, because that's originally what they planned to do, is studio interference.
Yeah.
Basically going, well, we could make a fuck ton of money, guys. Peter Jackson's directing this, and how many more chances are we gonna get where Peter Jackson's directing another Lord of the Rings film or something?
I would say at least I enjoyed the Hobbit. I guess the Hobbit movies are at least a dumb fun enjoy to watch.
But I think it also worries me with that Lord of the Rings Hunt for Gollum that Andy Serkis directing and stuff, because he was Gollum, and I'm sure he'll play him in this too again. But Peter Jackson's gonna be producing it, but he also produced this, and even though we liked this, like we said, it didn't. I mean, it didn't feel like a major departure from the Peter Jackson stuff. It just didn't feel exactly like it. It felt like it was its own thing, kind of, or its own take. So I just think it's not an indicator that just because his name's on it that it's going to feel exactly like his Lord of the Rings movies did, No,
I agree, especially since, to me, we've had... Remember the Gollum game that came out just a few years ago? And that was shit.
Yeah.
That was absolutely shit. But I don't know. To me, I don't really care about the Gollum stories as much because we already know what really happens to him. He just
There's just not much there to tell
Yeah.
more, unless you just want to basically have little things there to be like, ooh, a reference, ooh, another reference.
yeah.
or
It
like
seems
something
like a
that,
very
I think.
unnecessary movie.
Yeah.
What he fucking we know he used to be like a little hobbit like fucking guy who killed his cousin. Or was his best friend, but he killed him over the fucking ring, and then he went fucking into the mountains, went crazy, became a wild man, and became an anorexic crackhead for the ring
Yo.
with a fucking schizophrenia. And that's not what. And then he got like Bilbo steals the ring, and then the orcs capture him and then torture him to find out who has the ring, and then the orcs found out that Bilbo had the ring. That's what resulted in them raiding the Shire.
Yo.
In the movie. Well, they went into the ring race, went to Shire and started fucking things up looking for Bilbo, and Bilbo was already gone.
This did make me want to watch those other Lord of the Rings animated ones. Have you ever seen those?
Which ones?
It's like The Hobbit. There's an animated movie.
Oh yeah, I've seen the old animated
Lord of
Hobbit.
the Rings. There's an animated movie, and then Return of the King. There's an animated movie.
Oh yeah, I forgot about those. I haven't seen those in a long time.
I was like, maybe I'll watch those.
Yeah. The original Hobbit was the OG. That was actually fucking pretty fun. It's like it's in a weird style, but it is like probably the most accurate Hobbit movie, and it's also just kind of fun, but with you also have some really dark moments, of course.
Okay.
Like Smiling Friends made a reference in that in the that episode of Smiling Friends when they went to the fantasy forest.
Yeah, he looks
forest.
just like him.
Yeah,
right?
and like fucking the one that Charlie was getting. It's like, well, he's you, Charlie. Like when he's like, huh? They almost had like a fucking love scene. You're like, oh, yeah, that guy was like based on that fucking style, just for the joke. But yeah, like I said, weird style, but it is a fun Hobbit movie.
Yeah.
And it is nice and short in comparison to the other fucking Hobbit movies.
Okay. Well, I'll have to check them out.
Mm.
But yeah, it was also directed by, I forgot to say this, the guy who did Blade Runner Black Lotus on Adult Swim.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, I remember you telling me that.
And then he's done a lot of other anime stuff. Some Ghost in the Shell.
Oh, I like Ghost in the Shell. That was actually a good series.
Wait,
the series and movie.
A little bit of both, I think.
Mm.
But yeah, so I think, I like that Blade Runner show, but I remember that was getting kind of like in the 6 range for reviews, I think, and this is kind of the same way. And I feel like I'm kind of a little there with that. I don't know. I don't know if I'd give this a 7. Maybe I'd give it a 7. Like somewhere around there, but like I just think I wouldn't usually when I give something above a 7, I'd rewatch it.
Yeah.
Like I said, I don't think I'd rewatch this, but I liked it though. So I think it would be in close to that area. But it is a good film, and I just think I would be a little probably mad if I'd spent like $25 on this in IMAX or something.
Yeah.
Like the fact that we have the pass and we can see movies for like 50 cents or $4 or whatever. If it's like a premium format, it's really not that bad,
Yeah. But yeah. So I know I get you. Probably when I would say maybe this is a 6 to 6.5.
Yeah.
Like a good 6.5, I guess.
Yeah.
You could watch it again. Just one of those things. Or
It passes.
I'm not going to seek out to watch again, but if it's like something on TNT or something like that, just on TV or something like that, you'd be like, okay, I'll leave it on. Leave it on.
I think a lot of time people can think that's like a very harsh like area for something to be in. And like I just want to be clear with like my opinion on it, that like I like it, but it's just not super memorable.
Yeah.
It's not bad though, and I think it has a lot of strong areas, but it also leaves a lot of areas for improvement too.
Yeah.
Like I think the animation, whether you like it or not, I think they could have put even more money into this and made the animation really stellar. Like this could have been an event film, but everyone wants to cheap out with animation nowadays, it seems like.
Yeah.
Even though like it's becoming increasingly more popular
Well.
with things like Invincible and all this other stuff nowadays that
That's true,
are,
but
like, some of the
you gotta
biggest
remember, some
shows.
people don't see it like that too sometimes.
I know. They just think it's like a chance thing, but then anime is so popular and stuff now too, so
Yeah.
I don't know. I think maybe this is just best seen, like, especially with, how we feel about it, even though we like it, just it's exactly where they probably intended it to be, like at home.
Yeah.
Because it's an anime. So
I would say that it's
too.
probably like a good streaming movie if they
Yeah.
did that. I will say the biggest fucking crime was the fact that there was less people in that than the fucking
Oh, in
Craven movie.
Craven, yeah.
So that actually made me, I'm a little upset. I'm like, okay, guys, what the fuck? Why are you seeing Craven over fucking this?
I was also a little mad that I didn't get a free poster or anything, but Craven, got a bottle opener.
Oh, yeah, you got free bottle openers at for the Craven
I was
show.
like, ooh, I'll take 2. But yes, I think that about wraps it up for this one, Pose. Unless, Silas, do you have any other things
No.
to say about Lord of the Rings?
Nah, not really. I think I made my mind clear.
Yeah.
I did prefer the original story, but this was I guess an okay watch. It's just a good okay watch.
Yeah. No, exactly.
Honestly, they should probably called it a different name. Honestly, they probably should have. I think since this was completely a different movie, sometimes
I mean, they made it sound like there was gonna be a big war too, and there's really not much of a war.
no, it's just a siege thing for most of
Yeah.
it. I think the biggest there's like only
So there
one.
there were armies and stuff, and there were some battles, but there was not much of a war. Not like
Yeah, no.
not like we said, like you see in the live action stuff, where it's like, damn, these are long ass war scenes, and like this is like it's pretty cool because it like throws you right into the battle and everything, and then like you're like, wow, we're really in this for like half the movie. Fuck, like
The fucking the I think the only really big war we saw was more the one in the beginning that actually like where they're charging at each other, actual armies charging in at each other. I mean, though I think most of the time we didn't even get too much of actually in the battle for that. That was most of the action was in the town dealing with the fucking trying to get when Wolf and when the mercenaries were trying to get into town, and then it ended up resulting in fucking Helm Bigcock's fucking son, his big cocked son dying and getting shot
My
through the
boy.
throat after fucking killing a fucking whole war elephant with just an axe, just chopping at his
right
fucking
through
head.
his neck.
Hmm?
Right through his neck. The
no, like
arrow.
how the son just took down a whole elephant by himself,
Yeah,
and then just to
Wolf
get shot right through the neck by a fucking wolf. You're like, oh, fuck you, Wolf, cheap shotting motherfucker.
Yeah, Wolf was just like like I said, like I thought he was a good villain because like he was like a Joffrey or someone where you're like, I just want to see him get his ass kicked so bad. But like he was a bitch. Like, don't get me wrong, he was 100% a bitch.
Oh yeah.
But, like
I liked his general.
Really...
I liked his general that he had with him more personally.
God, I wish Helm kicked his ass, bro. I really wish there was like just a Helm going off on him scene. That would have been amazing.
I know. I don't know why his general stuck with him till until the very end, where the fucking general was like the one carrying him for most of that movie.
Yeah.
He was like giving him all this advice that he should have done, but never didn't listen. Like where
You
he's
have
like,
never taken a single piece of advice I give you. It's like you just try to do the contrary every single time.
it's like you just keep me around to do the opposite. He's like, I tell you something, you just do the opposite, you little shit. And then like in the fucking end where he's actually just fed up with it, he's like, hey, you're the one who made the fucking deal with this girl. If she beat you, you would just retract your fucking army. So you know what? I'm gonna do it for you. And then Little Wolf fucking decides to stab his best general and soldier right in the gut in the betrayal moment.
It's just a bitch, dude.
Oh,
I said, like, good villain. But,
a little fuck
like,
stain, just like his
you
bitch
just
of a
want to see
father.
him get fucking his ass beat so bad.
He probably would have got one punch just like his fucking dad did. Just
Oh, for sure.
one
His
fucking
dad was
throw.
a fat
Boom.
fuck, so like for sure he would have been going down.
Yeah. Fucking to me he just screamed like that fucking incel energy too when he captured her originally and she was like, would you call off your army if we did happened to get married, and he just felt he's like, do I disgust you that much? Fuck you, bitch. He just going all fucking bitch mode on the, right there. I'm like,
It's like, wow, you could have gotten what you wanted, but
well, you could have got married. I guess it would be a loveless marriage, but shit.
but like, you already you can't change reality, bro. You're acting like you can change reality and shit. You know. Sometimes like you just gotta accept the best you can get.
Mm. You know,
we could have ended this movie like 50 minutes shorter if he had just done that, you know?
it'd be kind of funny if you found out the whole thing started all because he did tell his dad, I want to marry Hera. The whole time the dad's like, all right, fuck it. You know, I see a fucking opportunity for the throne if I do that. I'm going to bring my boy over and I'm going to strut his shit. I'm going to make him we're going to go fucking, I'm going to demand the king to get her hand for my boy.
Fuck it.
Because to me, I'm like, all right, Wolf seems like a cool guy. He looks like a fucking Chad or himself, and then you just find out he's a bitch later. A little whiny incel bitch.
Yeah. 100%. Fucking Wolf.
Oh.
But yeah, but I think that wraps this one up.
Until next time, fellow hoes, have a good one. Stay frosty.
We'll see you for when we're craving something to hunt.
Later.